Well, hello everybody. It's let's see, it's Thursday night about 10 minutes to 11. Uh, and I'm bored. I must be bored. I'm watching Cajun Pawn Shop. Anyway, it's just, of course, to announce the weekly contest. Now, I don't know how many of you, uh, hmm, excuse me, this is my nightly before I go to bed cocktail. But it's not that much cocktail. It's more like a fruit cup. Mm, it is so good. Mm. And it's going to be a dual contest. See this? That's going to be part of the contest. But, let me get back to my cocktail. Oh, you can't imagine how good this is for me. Mmm, so fruity. Mmm. I know this is rude, but I want to catch what's going on in the Australian Open, so I got to hurry up, get my cocktail finished. Mmm. Every one of you should have one of these. Like you can watch. Mmm. You could understand how good that was. Well, silver's been up this week. Not that I'm going to buy any. A flea market is closed this week, so I'm sort of screwed. I got to run down and buy my bananas and all my fruit down at the grocery store, which is going to be like 2 or 3 times more than I pay at the flea market, and it's going to affect mm, my cocktail. Mm. Now, Mr. Simply thinks I'm some kind of alky, but I'm not. There's not that much vodka in this. And it's supposed to be good for you to have 2 drinks a day. So this is my second one of these. But today I went overboard. Me and Mark. I'm back to work. I had to work yesterday and today. Can you imagine that? Had to work a couple hours yesterday and 4 hours today. That'll take care of that for this week. But we're back working and it's sort of good, except I know I'm going to feel it in the morning. That's why I'm continuing my cocktail. Hmm. And let's see if I can find a picture of Mark. For those of you that aren't familiar with him, uh, me and him went to Hawaii 10 years ago. And a funny story is that brings up a little story, and that is that I'm flipping through pictures, hoping to. Here's the people I stayed with when I was in Hawaii, uh, and for Christmas one year I give Mark a. Here's Mark and my mother, a full paid trip and spending money to Hawaii. So we went to visit my friends on the Big Island, and while we were there, we went to a place where there was a brewery called the Kona Brewery, and they had great pizza and any kind of lunch you wanted to have. And in the process, they also had a taste thing where you could taste a whole variety of different beers, and they you could buy like a thing of 12 different beers, and they each should have. Here's a picture of Mark and his daughter, and they each would have. Well, that was stupid of me. I should have just done the photographs of the trip to Hawaii, but maybe some other time. Anyway, so we went to lunch today, and don't you believe it? But here in this little flea bag of a bar that has really good sandwiches, we went and they had Kona Brewery on draft. Now, I hadn't even thought about this place in the last 10 years, and it's not that big a brewery. And to think that in Vineland here, we're about 5,200 miles, I guess, away from Kona, that we'd have Kona beer right here. Mmm, so good. Mm. So here's the contest. That's a double contest. Oh, when you get done, you can get to drink what's left. Oh, I put these right under my freezer in the little refrigerator, and that's the coldest one. I set it on as cold as possible. And depending on how much vodka you put in it, a lot of times it gets a nice, crusty, frozen part on top, and the drink is really, really cold. Mmm, that is so good. Well, let's get to the contest. Contest is see which one of you can come closest to my recipe. And the recipe is what went in this drink, because it changes a lot of times. And several of you that Skype me are not eligible because the Skypers have, well, almost every time I Skype, it's in the evening, and they've seen me drink, and they've seen me drink this particular drink, and not exactly this one, but it's something very similar. And so they've heard me talk about it, so they know the recipe. So Skypers are out of this contest, but they're in this contest. And what they have to do is guess what is on the other side of this coin. And it's simple enough. The first one that guesses what's on the other side, and I think I'll give everybody 3 guesses. And you don't have to give them all the same day, but whoever guesses what's on the other side of this coin first, and you know what kind of coins I like, and this is a unique one, will win a Morgan. And then, of course, of all the rest of you, whoever guesses my closest to my recipe also wins a Morgan. So enjoy yourself. Do some experimenting. I'll tell you, the booze in it is vodka, but I won't tell you what flavor. That's for you to figure out. Have a good night and have a good weekend.